Welcome to Crypto Fray. I'm Luna, your guide through the shadows where horror films, TV, comics, and video games all come out to play. Every week, we dig into the stories that shape the genre. The monsters who haunt it, and the creators who keep horror alive. Welcome to the crypt. Hello, greetings. Happy morning to Dell, evening to Colin, and afternoon to me. I hope you guys are doing wonderful this Sunday, wherever you're tuning in from. And let's get started. How are you guys doing today?
Grand. It's a bit cooler at least, so I'm not going to melt.
Yeah, we're having
just
some
waking up.
thunderstorms. Oh, you're just waking up. Yeah. Well, hopefully this discussion will get the juices flowing, because oh my goodness, this was a craziness. What did you guys think after you watched it?
Bit of a head scratcher when it gets to like the halfway point. At a certain point in the movie, you're starting going, why? But I'm sure we'll get into that. You know, there's
It's definitely a mad scientist theme, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So let's.
He didn't have a white coat though. I'm a bit disappointed.
No.
He didn't go into his barn and put on a white coat, and that. I just feel like I was muted.
White coats are underrated, overrated. Not underrated, but overrated. So maybe that's why he didn't want to be, cool and. But right, it's definitely a trope. So wow, this is a whole movie that was just crazy. At first, we see a girl get out of a car and instantly get run over by a car. So
well, it took her a minute. She crawled along the ground a bit first, and well, I have to say this: the actress, her physicality is fantastic.
Yes.
Like when she does the physical roles and that, yeah, she's actually really good at it. That's one thing she really sold in this.
Yeah, that was an excellent way to start a film.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. There are some really good cinematography points that I will love to discuss with you guys once we track along with the film, but goodness, a lot of really good cinematography. And the only thing that I felt it took a little too long is the setting up part, because like 30 minutes into the film, I looked at my watch, I'm like, oh god, we're still setting up.
Yep.
It was a little slow. It was a slow burn, but once we got going, it was like super
considering
quick.
The beginning was so impactful, with it started off really intense, and then it went kind of slow after that until a little bit later on. So setting up is usually what they do, I suppose, but
exactly.
Yeah, but a wee bit of a pacing issue.
In the beginning, I did feel that way as well. So Ellie woke up right after we see her get hit by the car. We see her name's Ellie, or that's what we're told. She wakes up in a farmhouse. She's disoriented and suffering from severe retrograde amnesia. So very interesting. What did you guys feel about that when she started saying, "No, I'm Sarah Thompson," and all this stuff?
It was interesting. Obviously, that's going to be the reveal. She tries to unpick it, and then it makes sense when we get the reveal. But once again, it's plot's about weakness, but I think her physicality makes up for the dialogue, if that makes sense. So the fact she's swinging, like proper swinging the crowbar, for example, or the iron, the fire iron, the poker.
Yeah.
The poker off the fire, yep.
Fire poker.
Like just the way she was swinging that around and that. And then the wee girl as well, who plays Alice, was fantastic.
Oh,
So
wasn't she amazing?
there's an intense, they got intense physical scene in the hallway where she's like, I thought he was going to lose his fingers, to be honest.
Mm,
Um, they just smashes the mirror, and then the girl sees it, and then she's like, oh, that was great. You got that like tension. Plus, after the first thing, you know something's going wrong. Is this an intense nightmare? What's happening?
Yeah.
Then it just kind of goes in like back to neutral. Like, okay, it's ramped up to here. Then just
it
Yeah.
really, it really did let us, led me to believe that she'd definitely been in a serious accident. It was very convincing that she had been in an accident, and she had lost her memory. Um, but when she kept saying she had a son, I think that's when I started to think, nah, there's something's not right. Something's going on, definitely.
Mhm.
Your subconscious is not going to let you forget that you've got a son and a different husband, and you know your name, and you know that you graduated from university. It's like, okay, something's happened. I was convinced it was because she had an accident at the beginning. So, mm,
You hear things all the time, like people get bopped in the head, and all of a sudden they speak a different language, or they start writing backwards and stuff. You know what I mean? The whole thing about the human psyche is we don't understand it.
that's
Like,
right.
so many things can happen to you, and there's psychology is still a new science in the terms of sciences, and half the times it's guesswork. Like, there's no fix for anything,
Mm,
Mhm.
because
that's right.
what might fix one person would break another. It's just it's the
Yeah.
wild west of sciences. Nobody gets it. So
Yeah.
any of these horrors or anything playing with it, like I love the unbending mind. It's a one of the favorite genres of
Interesting.
mine.
Yeah.
Is it reality? Is it not? But the story has to. You have to have a handrail on the story,
Mm,
or else you get lost in it. If that makes sense.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, the I first in this beat, I thought I was under the impression that maybe the guy that hit her caused the first accident. You know how we see her get out of the
Hmm.
accident? I thought, "Oh, what if he was chasing her to abduct her and then maybe force her to live this like
Yep.
fake life? Like
Like
maybe
misery or something.
yeah,
Mm,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, no, this is really you," and then she's like, "No, that's not really me," but it's like, maybe I thought he was fabricating this fallacy of a life just to have somebody like an abduction, like a weird
Yep.
abduction, but that is, far from what is the reality, isn't it?
Mm,
I thought that might have been that this was like an ending scene, and then
yes.
it's going to take, I mean, the rest of the story is going to take you back to that scene. So I thought that too, because in this movie, you don't really know what the plot is, and that's
Mhm.
one thing. I'm glad the descriptor and all doesn't give it away.
Yeah,
No.
'Cause
it
Yeah.
that's
doesn't.
I hate movies that if you read the descriptor or watch the trailer, you've spoiled the movie. You know everything that's going to
Mm,
happen.
Yeah. I've gone into my movie reviews now by not watching the trailer at all. I
Yep.
just
yeah.
pop on the movie and then go. Just because trailers aren't good anymore. We used to have trailers where it would give you like a few things just to keep you engaged and keep you enticed and actually going to check it out. But now the trailers give you the main big ending and you're like,
I
"Why?"
know. I know. It's shocking.
The last one I remember that was, do you know they made the remake of Speak No Evil?
Mhm.
The movie had only been out for 2 years before
Yep.
they remade it.
Yeah.
And during that trailer of the remake, this gave the fucking spoiler,
Oh,
Ah,
which
no.
was, if you've watch the Dutch version, it's amazing. But there's a line of dialogue which is the spoiler, and
Of
they put it in the
course.
trailer in the Hollywood version. I'm like, oh, you arseholes. You
Yeah.
absolutely. I
yeah.
just remember, I still refuse to watch that movie because I'm like, nah, these are scum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I don't do trailers. unless I'm really excited for something like the Godzilla.
Mm,
That was good,
minus
and
zero.
yes, I didn't feel like that gave you any story or anything. It was just some cool shots, and here it
That's
is. Um,
that's what concerns me.
Yeah.
That director keeps saying he wants to go to Hollywood, and I'm going, please
no,
don't. Please don't.
no,
Just stay with
just
Toho.
do what you're doing.
Stay in
You'll
Japan. You'll be much better for it. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Don't be
yeah.
Taika.
No, yeah, they're gonna rip you apart in Hollywood and
Yeah.
make you different than what you're producing now, and you'll be bound to all these stipulations. And don't do it. Just stay where you are, and the money will come. I guarantee,
Mm.
Hmm.
because people love it, and if people love something, they'll pump money into it.
Yep.
Um, no matter if you're in Japan, if Korea film, whatever, just stay. Do that, and the audience will come to you.
That's right.
And remember, folks, if you love Krypton Fight, like and subscribe, share these videos around. Let's get Luna up and going. 1 month and
Yes.
already over 100 subscribers. Brand new
Yeah.
channel.
Yay.
Yeah, so I
Wow.
have 7 lives already, 1 video recording, and 111 followers as of before going live. So I'm trekking along. I'm trekking along, and I'm
Yay.
really excited to see this come together. So speaking of coming together, going back to this, Bruce calmly guides her through her day, showing her photos and trinkets that established her identity as a wife. I thought that was very choreographed. I already knew the husband's name is Bruce.
Mhm.
Um, I already knew Bruce was up to some bullshit, because how do you would just let her go at her own pace, right? Why is he making this so performative? Like, here's a picture of your grandparents, and here's a picture of this, and remember this, and it
There's
Yeah.
a there's a line of dialogue. Yes, do you remember the doctor recommended we go to this abandoned house in the middle of nowhere for your treatment?
Yep.
And you're
yeah,
like, bullshit. Yes,
Yep.
the
bullshit.
doctor recommended I buy this house and uproot our lives and not be around friends and family and do it this way.
Yeah, that
No,
no.
no.
Yeah. There's some really good indications that there's something not right going on at the beginning. Quite a lot of little bits that make you go, that's a bit strange. But then he's very convincing as well. So you can see how she got suckered in, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's so much gaslighting going on by Bruce, and then the scene the scene that always gets me is Ellie remembers herself as Sarah Thompson, the MIT graduate with a husband and a son, and then the scene where she's in the shower and she has a physical scarring on her neck.
Hmm.
That kind of reminded me of the Matrix, when people
Yes.
are in the pods and they're plugged into the Matrix.
Yep.
So I was like kind of drawing from that a little bit. I'm like, I thought maybe that he had injected like that thing in her neck with like a memory serum or something. That's what I was thinking at first, that maybe he had messed with
Mm.
her
Oh,
memories by injecting something.
yeah, because what was it? Just I know it's not horror, but remember X-Men 2 where Stryker was like putting the droplets and they had all the mutants had the thing in the back of their neck. He was using it
Yeah.
to mind them.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I was thinking perhaps she's being drugged, but I didn't know what sort of drug would cause such a huge, unless it was over a long period of time, the same injection site. So, yeah, that did throw me off. Yeah.
And as the days pass, Ellie begins to notice discrepancies and gaps in story. Like Bruce told her when they were walking down memory lane, "Oh yeah, your parents are dead." And then when her and her daughter are playing, she's like, "Yeah, Grandpa Joe," and it's like, I want to see him to go to the zoo, and then Ellie's like, when did you last see Grandpa Joe or talk to him? And she's like, last week. And it's like, but Bruce told me that Grandpa was dead. So, but you're telling me that you saw him last week. Something's not quite adding up.
I initially, when that scene happened, I thought, well, okay, she could be talking about Bruce's dad, you know? So how did Ellie know, unless subconsciously she knew her dad's name was Joe? How did she how did she not think, well, it's Bruce's dad? Grandpa Joe is Bruce's dad, you know?
Didn't get that explained, I don't think.
No.
We don't get that.
So then it sort of still was such a fine line, this film, of revealing things but not revealing things. Like, okay, Grandpa Joe might not have been her dad. He might have actually been,
Bruce's
so
dad.
it's kind of like Bruce's dad. So it's like, okay, that's odd. But why didn't she say who's Grandpa Joe? That's what I was expecting. Oh, that's Dad's dad. Or don't you remember, Mum? That's your dad.
Yeah, I think that would have been an interesting follow up. Because if she said, "Don't you don't remember your dad?" and then she would have been like, "What do you mean? I was told he was dead." Then that would have been a little more intense of a reaction.
That's right. And maybe too indicative. So perhaps that's why they didn't do it. Yeah. To
Maybe
throw
that's
us off.
maybe that's why they left it as vague as possible, but just a little tiny seed of info without revealing too much. So Ellie exhibits unnervingly, I noticed that Ellie exhibits unnervingly detachment behavior of her daughter Alice. Did you guys feel that way too?
From the bit she looked in the mirror and woke up and first saw herself in the mirror and went, who the hell is this? And had the freak out. You sort of know that she's not Ellie or, another version of herself or something. So you see her in the mirror, she's looking at herself, she's having a freak out because she's like, whose face is this? And this whole thing that she's not the person that she says she is. So she's got this other life in her head. So this girl and this man are like, who the hell are you? Why am I here? Why am I in this abandoned, farmhouse in the middle of nowhere with no neighbors? You can kind of see that all building up and into it, and we don't know why at this point. That's sort of the miss. We know something's wrong, and we definitely know that he's involved in it. We just don't know what way it's going to pan out.
Yeah, the detachment made me really think, oh, is this really her daughter? Because you'd think, okay, you've got, if your subconscious is still working, which obviously, well, see, that's the dilemma, isn't it? With the engineering going on.
But the girl's adamantly, absolutely convinced that is her mother. So, and she's upset.
Yeah, that's right. And it was very convincing, wasn't it? So yeah, it's definitely a detachment. But then again, if she's been in such a terrible accident and she can't remember her husband, she's not going to remember her child. So I can see why there would be a little bit of a detachment. But yeah, this movie really messes with the psychology of things. It's just like, well, how did that happen in psychology and all this sort of stuff going on? It's a psychological fuck up. I have to say, it's so many things going on. It's and to see the daughter Alice standing in the doorway crying, "Mummy, how can you not remember who I am?" That was just like, oh, so heartbreaking, So it was so fucking convincing that she's her mum. Really well done. Yeah.
That's it. These two, if it wasn't for these two's performances, they wouldn't have sold the movie.
Definitely not.
This is where actually the very rare occasion where the actors have had to carry this, because if they didn't sell it right,
yeah,
you'd have just I don't know, you just been like, huh, what's happening? Don't care. You know, you wouldn't have got the emotional
No.
distress of Ellie genuinely believes she's another person with another life, doesn't
Yeah.
understand what's happening. Alice genuinely believes this is her mother and doesn't understand why her mother is the way she is. What's the bloke's name?
Bruce.
Bruce.
Bruce
Mm.
is just creepy.
He is, isn't he? Yep.
There's
They
something
chose the
off.
right.
Yeah, there's something off about him from day one, minute one.
Yep.
Yeah. I never liked him. I never trusted him.
No.
You can trust a child because a child is children are just they're born and they have no bias, they have no anything, they're taught, right? So she's still pretty young where she wouldn't understand if there was a evil plot or something going on.
No.
Mhm.
She wouldn't really understand. She would she's still very innocent and very young. So she's way more believable than Bruce. Bruce is just weird and
Yeah.
creepy, and there's just something to him that's not quite right.
He
I
looks like a real
never.
feminist.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's more the bells straight away. You know what I mean? He's got 6 women chained up in the basement.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, if anyone so if anyone ever tells you they're a real feminist, run. Just run.
The other way, very fast.
Right. You shouldn't have to tell me that. It's like when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm not a werewolf," and then it's like, "You don't have
That's
nothing to worry about me. They're in fact a werewolf because
that's
why
what a
would they?"
werewolf would say.
Yeah, why feel the need to say, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely not this." It's because
That's
the
right.
subconscious is
Yep.
haunting them and
It's like when a
Mhm.
lawyer or a politician tells you they're honest, you're like, I don't care. I don't care. Plumbers tell me how honest they are, or bricklayers tell me
Mm.
how honest they are, or bus drivers tell me how honest they are. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
why
right.
why feel the need to try to convince others of your honesty?
Mhm.
Maybe because you're trying to sell them the fact that you're
Yep.
Yep.
honest, but
When someone's trying too
Yep.
hard, you're just like, and
no.
Bruce is trying too hard. That's the thing. There's,
Red flag.
yep.
He is. He is indeed.
A walking red flag. Oh man. So we do see the daughter Ellie. I'm sorry, Alice and Ellie playing a game in the forest. This is when things started getting a little weird for me. I get super anxious. There's no doubt about that. I have really bad anxiety. And then in this scene where they started, I could sense that the portrayal, she was starting to get really anxious because the daughter was like, I'm gonna count, and she's like, I don't really want to play this game. You could tell that the actor, that not the actress, that the character herself was very uncomfortable playing this hide and seek game and counting. Hot and cold, I believe it was what she called it.
Mhm.
So she goes on with it. I'm just like in my stomach. I'm like, please don't play this. Just go back inside. Just
Yeah.
do a puzzle. Why do you have to go in the forest? But they go to the forest anyways. And then Ellie finds a body, what appears to be a body wrapped in a bag that's still moving.
I have to say,
Terrifying.
the way they made that move was brilliant.
Yeah.
Whoever was in there, and moving with it, it's almost like they got a contortionist. Like that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. Just
Yeah.
imagine coming upon that. Yeah.
But that's another example of physicality. If they didn't have a physical actor doing that, somebody that could move like that, wouldn't have sold it.
No.
If it
No.
had been CGI, because there's terrible CGI in this later
Oh.
on, but that you could see that's practical. You could see the way they've got the bag and they've framed it. So, because if there's somebody not as physical able to do that, it would just have looked horrible. It wouldn't have
Yeah.
worked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's an example of a great shot selling the scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And CGI could never do that scene, right? I'm sorry,
No,
but
like,
No, physical props are always the best if you can do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
practical effects always 1,000%.
mhm.
You don't need the CGI, believe
Well,
me.
I'm not a purist. there's a role for CGI
Mm,
as a a gloss over the top or to expand or enhance something, but you need that foundation.
Yeah.
yep,
The problem is when they build it without, it's like building a skyscraper, but they don't get the foundation right, it's going to collapse, and we'll see that.
yep,
But that's an example of just pure physical acting and camera work selling the scene, and that
yeah,
that's what buys you. That's what buys you in this because we've seen these sort of plots 100 times. Is she losing her mind? Is she being played with? Is something else going on? We've seen these storylines. So how do you
yeah,
freshen it? How do you make it different? And things like that, though.
Yes. The in this beat, definitely I got very nervous for her because now it's real. If there's a body and now all of a sudden she's screaming for Alice because she's scared of this body that she's seeing in this bag and it's moving, and I am worried for her. I'm like, girl, if you don't get out of there, you're probably gonna be the next in that body bag. I was starting to
yeah,
get nervous for her at that point. So, and then after she sees that, then her violent physical tremors and hallucinations start really to pick up. So Ellie runs home to tell Bruce, and Bruce always gaslighting bastard claims it's nothing. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, can I call the cops? No, no, no. I'll take care of it. It's nothing. And I'm like, if you truly loved your wife and she's telling you that there's a dead body, why wouldn't you go, yeah, we should probably call the cops to see what it is. Maybe they can come check it out. But he's so
mm,
hesitant to bring outside people in,
Mm-hmm.
like, and then and then instead of letting her call the cops, he goes, "No, I'll call the cops." Did he call the cops? No.
Oh,
no,
there's no phone line because that's what the doctor prescribed, but there's a walkie-talkie. You can, the story is getting weaker and weaker, and
yeah, true,
if he was genuinely wanting to help her, he would at least play along.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just know, like, he's a wrong one. Like, once again, I think that's a handrail. When I talk about like the handrailness that something's not right, it's him, it's Bruce.
yeah,
Yeah.
He's the handrail that you hold on to go through this because that could have been a hallucination. She could be falling apart, blah 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 blah. But it's him that
Yeah.
you'd sort of go, all right, this actually happened. It's actually a body. He's up to something because of his actions. I mean, that's your handrail with the warped reality sort of storyline. You need that.
Yes. Um
I think
Definitely.
like with the tremors and that coming on quite strong, I think that might also indicate that her personality is actually very strong. She's determined. She knows that she is not in the right sort of situation. Like I think she's getting the hint that there's something definitely not right there. She can remember her past memories with her husband and her son. And I think that he's starting to freak out a little bit now. That especially with I think this is his moment of freaking out was her finding the body um, out in the cornfield, and
There's a cornfield. Of course, he's evil.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
of
Anyone's
course.
got a that's right, totally. But you can see the cracks are happening already because she's like, especially that scene when he's like, "Oh no, it's all right. I'll go call the police, and we'll sort it out. It's probably just a hunting accident." And then he comes back and says, "Oh yeah, I've rung them, and uh, they're going to go sort it out and all this sort of stuff." And I think that's her moment as well when she's like, "Why is there a dead body, out in
Well,
the
he
field? There's
switches,
something
doesn't he?
going on." Yeah, he
He
does. He
switches from hunting
switches.
accident to there's no body there at all.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a hunting accident,
very
you don't bring plastic. Well, I suppose maybe you do if you're wrapping deer and stuff, but most of them don't. But it's like,
I don't
no,
nah,
they cover it.
there's
Yeah.
something not right. You bring them with you. You bring them back.
Yeah, but if there was truly a hunting accident, you'd hear about it. There'd be police, there'd be,
Yep.
stuff.
Maybe a
Even
helicopter if it's because it's isolated,
Yep.
Yeah. No.
yeah. No, that was totally not believable. So after Bruce definitely realizes that he's not going to convince her that she's Ellie, he proceeds to strangle her. Right? So
Yeah.
Just
what
go straight to that. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was shocked too. I was like, okay, she's definitely not her. She's definitely not the wife. He's not going to strangle her like that. No, this guy's messed up.
Yeah, so the daughter then comes in. Alice then comes in and escapes and finds the lab. This is where it starts like
This is
getting
where
crazy. I was like, "Oh my
after
Yeah.
god."
this, it's like, what's going on? Like, it's a bit
Yeah.
random.
At this point, I'm like trying my best to keep up, and I was watching this with Raven Wisha, and then I was like, Raven Wisha, hang on, like, can you tell me what the fuck just happened so I could put this notes? And like my notes got like a little fucking crazy because I was just like, what then what happened, and then what happened, and then what happened? Like, it was just wow. It was just boom, 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 boom. Like, the first 30 minutes were very slow paced. They had that kind of a pacing. And then once we find the body, once she finds the body and then goes back, it's a hunting accident, and then the choke out commences. That's when it like kind of goes at the top, and we just see it, getting ready
Yeah.
to just go down the roller coaster, as we call it, the climax. So then the daughter escapes, and then Ellie stabs him with a pencil to try to escape. That hurt me. That hurt me
Yeah,
so bad.
that's going to sting a bit.
Pencils make good weapons. Well,
Yeah.
defense weapons.
Yeah. And that proves that you could literally stab anybody with anything. It does not have
Yep.
to be a knife. It does not have to be any sort of a pencil isn't technically a weapon, but you can definitely stab somebody with it, as we saw. So anything could be used as a weapon. This movie definitely highlights that. So finally, we have this where Bruce kills her in the lab. Oh man, that scene was just a little rough for me to watch because he just goes.
Yeah.
He
It
just
was
goes to
rough.
town. But I think that was a good example of his frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, he is proper frustrated at this point. And then that's where we get the reveal. Like, this is like the 32nd time he's tried this.
Yeah,
Um,
32
Yeah.
copies.
mhm.
Oh my god. So let's talk about one thing that bothered me so bad and why I'm not gonna be Chris and have crazy theories. I do have one theory though. He is a masochistic, sadistic bastard because he has a remote, right, that turns them on and off. Like, he didn't power them off to then, make them unconscious and then murder them. He enjoyed it. He almost like was like, yeah, like trying to get that anger out, and you could see that they were in pain and they were suffering. Whether ethically you say that they're a real person or not, there must be some sort of pain receptors there,
Yeah.
and they're still feeling. Whether you would classify them as human as not or not, that's up to you. But the fact that he was so sadistic to not be like, I should probably turn them off and then blow the kill so that way that it's not
Yep.
so traumatic.
So what are the God, now I'm trying to remember back to biology. If an organism can, is it breathe, reproduce is one, I mean, that's a living organism.
Yeah.
And what's the other thing, like digest or
Eat.
something, isn't it?
Yeah.
like have a
something
digestive
like that.
system.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like requirements that something is alive
Yeah.
Mhm.
as opposed to not, and I can't remember them all because it's like many
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Oh, I understand.
Anyway, you know what I mean?
Yep.
There's
Mm,
these criteria that's basically this is a living organism, this is not, doesn't meet these criteria. And even if you want to go into AI, there's a thing called the Turing test, which is a sentient or not. You know, there's the questions.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is a living, breathing organism. Well, you know,
Yeah.
even if they were in
Yep.
fact made in a petri dish. It kind of I also it reminded me of I know we're going down a little bit of a darker path, but just hear me out for a second. When you euthanize an animal, when an animal becomes too old, too sick, whatever, they don't just kill it. They administer two things, right? First, they administer a very 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 strong sedative to make them go night night, so they're not conscious, so they're just asleep. And then they give them the second dose, which is what actually makes their heart stop, and then that's what actually kills them. But they're not conscious of this. They don't know this is happening. They're just in a very heavily sedated state of sleep. And that's what we do now. It's still
but
considered
even
ethical.
even in agriculture, you have stun slaughter. That's why you have stun slaughter
Mm.
because you know before you dispatch them,
Yeah.
so you
And
probe
he
to the
Yeah.
he
head.
had the tool.
Yep.
He had the tool. He had that stupid little button, right? And
Mhm.
he just did not use it until we see it later in the film, and I'm like, you are this made me hate this man. I hated this man because he could have stunned the child too. Then after he kills her, she goes to the daughter Alice and kills her too. And then just like smothers her, and but oh god, no, the scene after we just saw him murder
Mhm.
Ellie. And then he goes to the child's room. Oh, mommy's okay. She's okay. She's fine. Come here. And I'm like, no, don't come here. Don't come here. And she's so innocent and childlike that she obeys the dad and then gets
Because
Yeah.
smothered
that
in that.
is his daughter.
Oh,
Yeah.
that hurt
That's the
me.
Yeah.
reveal then that we find out. You know, um, yeah, that's messed up. Like, and lethal injection, which goes to sleep, drug her, something. No,
Anything. Oh my goodness. That was so
That was
traumatic.
horrible. It was. Yeah. I don't like seeing that in horror, but
no, but
you know.
that's why it's horror. That's the thing.
Yeah.
In the horror genre, we look at this, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why we have to, because you have to look at the motivations.
Yeah.
People do despicable things and hide it behind altruistic motives.
Yep.
I'm
He's a
doing this for
psychopath.
the cause. I'm doing this because I love my wife. No, they don't. A
Mm-mm.
Yep.
psychopath, somebody who's psychotic, doesn't know what love is. This is obsession. This is anger at failure. This is nothing to do with. This is
Yeah.
not love. Whatever what he's doing is not love,
No.
and
No. No.
you
He.
need to see that. That's why you can't. That's why no other genre does this. You need to see that. You need to see what he's like. It's meant to be
Yep.
uncomfortable
Mm.
because you're meant to
Yeah.
Yeah.
understand.
Yep.
Exactly.
Nobody's
Yeah.
saying "Yay."
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
No.
That's you know
No.
what I mean? That's what people who don't like horror don't get. We're not sitting going,
Yeah.
"Yay, he kills the girl, yay!" You know,
No.
no, we're actually looking
No.
at this going, "This guy's fucking off his nut. He can't be in. He
Yep.
doesn't deserve love. He can't be in society." You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thoughts go through your head when this is happening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then we do see an MMR program that he's working on to make these copies. We know that there's been at least 32 copies that he's made. So what happens is what they explain to us in the movie is that, well, through reading and not actual narration, but if if you have two things, right? The actual body and the subconscious and the, memories and all that. He needs to find the right subconscious, because if it doesn't go into the right body, then it'll reject, and then bad things will happen, right? To the original. For example, it's like if you get a blood transfusion and it's not the right blood,
Mhm.
then your body's going to reject it and go, "Whoa, this isn't mine." They try to explain it like it was
Uh,
similar to that.
Do you know
How
what it
did you guys
reminds me
feel
of?
about that?
So
What?
it's like I've worked in databases and stuff for years, right? And
Hmm.
it's always the clever people screw everything up. So they have managed to create this database. Every file is essentially a human consciousness. They've managed to do all that there, but the boffins don't know how to name files. So it's like somebody does all this here and writes this code and stuff, but instead of just calling the file Ellie, you know, no, that has to be file number 1234 ABC blah blah blah, because they have done all these calculations and stuff, and that's what it
Yeah.
produced the file name. I'm so clever. I spent 6 days writing that code because I'm so clever, but they could have just named it Ellie, and I would saved all the
Yeah.
hassle. Could have named one of the files Alice, etc., etc. But it's these people that think they're smarter in a lot of sense, superior, but they don't have common sense.
Yeah.
True.
Book learning versus life. Anyone with an ounce of common sense would be like, "Oh yeah, maybe I better name these properly. Might help."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I did kind of. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Some
And
of it
then,
went over my head. Some of it did. It went over my head. Because I'm not a scientist or anything like that. Not that you need to be to watch a horror, but some of it got a bit, I don't know, with actually seeing the brains or those, the brains.
Those
That really threw
pods
me
were
off.
horrible.
Yeah, yeah. It reminded
They've
me of some
used practical
alien
effects for
thing.
everything else, and then we've got
yeah,
these pods with like a look like they're suckers or like 20 eyeballs or something. You're like, and it's
Yeah.
CGI. It's obvious it's CGI. Like, what the hell? A plastic,
yeah,
like,
Mhm.
because when they do the thing later, like the sack, like the
Yep.
embryonic sack, what I mean, that was practical with a bit of CGI over the top. But why not do that?
with
Just get
the
a
with
flip of
the
balloon, and paint it, or
Yeah.
something that.
yeah.
That's where it took me out, because I'm looking at this thing going, "That's stupid. That's like something the Sci-Fi Channel would do."
That's right. So I was thrown off. That actually, literally, those props threw me off. So,
Yeah.
because I'm like, well, what? Why? What are they
Mhm.
there for? It's kind of, and then I started feeling like maybe I'm not getting the point, but yeah, I don't know.
No, it wasn't just you.
No, this is where the plot gets weak. It just,
Yeah.
sort of falls off the rails of. I think, I don't know. It's almost like, right, I've explained it to you. Right, I can just crack on now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
high
And
level
add,
concept, and forgot how to translate it to us mere mortals.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt too. Mm.
What one funny point that I'd like to make is printing a human in this timeline is faster than cooking my hot pocket.
Yep.
I know,
Holy
right?
shit, that was fast.
May as well
I
have
was
a
like,
3D
what the
printer
hell?
just to.
I was like, my
Yeah.
hot pocket would still be in the microwave before this human just popped up. And I was
So
like, damn.
here's the tragic thing. It makes sense because Alice saw the lab. So
Yep.
he's like, nah, can't have you seeing that. Both kills her. But he can then regrow her again, and he knows her file. So he can just re-upload Alice. So Alice will say the
Yeah.
same with no memory of this. Which is a bit, right, you didn't tidy your room. Right, reprint. Fucking hell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole psychotic,
Yeah.
right, I'll just hit the reset button every time you disappoint me. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's something like scary about that.
Hmm.
Still hasn't found Ellie yet, but
Yeah. He's
What
a
made me
maniac.
mhm,
yeah, what made
He's
me
worse
cure
than a serial killer. He's worse
yeah,
than a serial killer. Mm.
since we see he's done 32 prints, at
Mm.
what point did he find Alice? Because he obviously hasn't found Ellie, right? The
mhm.
right file for Ellie. But at what point, I'm curious, at what point did he find Alice? Did he find Alice right
Yeah.
away? or like that's what I was curious about. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the time because he's killed Alice and Ellie
Mm,
32 fucking times, so it doesn't
yeah.
matter. But it was just more of a, I think a lot when I watch films, so I'm just
Yeah,
like,
but
oh, I wonder when.
that's the whole thing. It's right. Has he decided like maybe attempt 15
Yeah.
is how long's that taken? Right?
Yeah.
Because not just to grow him, but the time. So it's like Alice getting a bit too old now. Does he kill her and then reset her again? So she's like the same age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is this the way? There's loads of things. This guy's wants this perfect family. He wants his perfect family the way it was, and
Oh,
you could imagine that Alice has been killed at least 3 times. Just the way this guy operates. If
yeah.
this has happened over years, for example, we don't know the timeline, but
We don't.
there's a possibility this has happened over a couple of years. It would make sense.
Yeah.
Or
Or he could be a fucking maniac and done this in a month, just killing, 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 killing.
yep,
We don't know.
Oh, I just got so freaking lost. I mean, because I'm thinking, okay, so how the hell did he get all those photos? Why does she look?
that's his
Oh,
wife. Ellie and Alice is his wife and daughter.
that's actually
We don't
So
know
the
where the
actual
real
but they
humans are
look
at, though.
so similar. So how did she, how's he choosing these people that look so similar to his wife? How's this happening?
no, he's cloned his wife.
He
Here's the
cloned
thing.
his wife.
So the
That's
hardware is a clone of Alice and a clone of Ellie. The software
that's
is a
where I got
problem.
lost.
Yep,
Yes,
because
it's the
see
cloning.
this database of so basically that would just grow and it'd just be live and breathe and it wouldn't do anything. It's no consciousness. The consciousnesses are the database files, so there's like over 200 of those, and they're not labeled properly, so he doesn't know which one's which. So these are
Oh,
200 different people in that database. So when
I mean,
Ellie first
yeah,
thought she was called Sophie, she literally was Sophie's memories
yeah,
injected into
In
Ellie's body.
in
That's
Ellie's
why when she
body.
looked in the mirror and had a freak out, who the hell is this? That's not
yeah,
me. That's somebody else.
That's
Somebody
somebody
else's
else's
mind
subconscious. Yeah.
in Ellie's body. And this has been done with Alice as well. You know what I mean? There's every chance um a 52-year-old woman was injected into Alice's body at one point and she goes, huh? And then got
yeah,
bashed over the head. That's the thing. He's trying to pair up the hardware with the software. So he's got the clone, the DNA, and he can grow the body. The trick is he's trying to find like the consciousness.
Yeah. Of his
yeah,
wife.
yeah. So it really got convoluted.
Hmm.
It did. It really did. And it gets even more
Oh yeah,
convoluted
because
as we. Yes.
Yeah,
Because then we see the Ellie copy that was named Sarah Thompson, right? We
sorry,
see
Sarah. Yeah.
her get murdered, but wasn't actually fully murdered. So she comes back, and then she goes to the lab because the file that how do I explain this part? Oh, this part was a little confusing. So
yeah,
she wanted this version of herself to be the body he's reprinting, to so she can remember like what happened. So she scans herself, scans the subconscious and every memory and everything she has currently, and uploads it to the cloud or
Mhm,
whatever, and overrides the file that
just-
that Bruce is gonna print next.
mhm,
So while Bruce is thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna try the next sample,"
yep.
no, it's just the overridden file that we got from this character, this Sarah Thompson character, subconscious, of course. So wow, what did you guys think of that scene? That scene
That
is a
took
lot to unpack.
Yeah, that took me. That's what threw me off a bit because I'm like, hold on, how'd you have memory? Oh, right, and then the whole need to stand still, which is I realized then what she was doing, and then I'm thinking to myself, is that how easy it is to upload your consciousness?
yeah,
I would have thought it would
exactly.
have been another like an actual physical transfer, that much data. This is
Yeah.
right. The technology doesn't match up with. God, do you remember back
The
in the day? They
time.
said like the human brain holds like, and remember they poured out the big box of CDs. to say
Yeah.
that's how much information your brain holds. But he's on like a Windows 10 flipping desktop. You know what I mean? Normal,
Yeah.
not leaving a bank of servers. No way. This stuff isn't sitting in a flash drive. Like 200 unit
Mm.
consciousness. It would take a whole rack of servers for one. But
Yeah, it actually threw me off to the point where I was thinking, okay, maybe we're in the future and something's happened to the world.
mm,
I actually like towards the end, I was thinking when she was running away and all that sort of stuff that she had turned, at the ending, I actually thought that it would turn out that they would go into the city and they'd find out that there was a big apocalyptic event. We're way in the future. Um, the technology has been refined so well that you can do programs that can change your consciousness so
mhm,
fast that this guy's been uh, saved somehow, and he's managing to do clones. Then it took me out into the maybe they're doing clones out in the world.
mm.
So it really did throw me off because it just didn't make sense how
Mm-hmm.
quickly this stuff was being done.
Yeah. The what I will say is what kind of made it stick out to me the most is when they mentioned that once the file gets uploaded or whatever and it rejects, then the only thing that person will want to do is survival. So it made sense why the Sarah Thompson's brain or subconscious
Yeah,
would want, now she's just in survival mode.
Mm.
Now she's
yeah,
uploading her consciousness to keep living, to keep going on. So that
Which
was
is the
pretty,
payoff for being a computer engineer, software engineer.
yes, because
So
she
that was the
knew
payoff because if it was anybody else, they wouldn't have done it. But
they
because
wouldn't
she
have
was a
done it.
yeah,
that's
But she
right.
was an MIT graduate. For
Yeah,
MIT is where they do a lot of computer science stuff. So
yeah.
she would know. She would know the technology and know how to
mhm.
log into a computer and do this uploading and do all that. So that was good. That was a good use of her background. If
That
you
was a
know
good
kind of
way
thing.
to explain that, what happens. Yeah, definitely.
So as so we see Alice, all of a sudden Alice is normal, of course. Her consciousness didn't reject because he obviously isn't happy with just, since what kind of
Oh,
messes me up is instead of him just printing out Ellie over and over and over until he gets it right, no, he has to do both Alice and Ellie. So fucking
yeah,
hell.
He
why?
wants his family back, and that's the
That's the fucked up thing in his
yeah.
head.
And he's
Yeah,
using Alice as the foil to basically bring Ellie in the
convince.
line
Yeah, that's right.
to find the right one. Like I said, it's mania. It's we're at that point of might have been altruistic to start off with, but then the obsession and the mania take over, and then it becomes
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah. No.
So, with every wife that's rejected, does he
Uh-huh.
have to do it to Alice as well? I mean, that's what
That's
That's
what
what
we
I'm
don't know.
questioning. That's what I'm questioning.
Mm,
Does he always kill Alice so that she stays the same age? So that like he goes back to this perfect family of this time capsule?
yeah,
Because if Alice ages like 10 years, then it's not what I mean, it's not gonna work.
no,
Even if she ages 3, 4 years at that stage of her life, she's gonna look drastically different. So
Yeah.
she almost has to reset. So if Ellie doesn't
ooh,
it rejects the if basically he doesn't upload Ellie and he uploads somebody else and they reject it, then Alice has to go
We're
too and get
yeah,
reset.
yeah, it's like, ugh.
nasty.
And
Yeah.
he hasn't found out a way to wipe the body. It seems to be like it's a
No,
one shot. Once the conscious is uploaded, it's bonded to the organic matter, so he can't like wipe that memory and replant one in.
And
no.
no, he has to get rid of the bodies every time. and start over again. It's kind of crazy, but we see Alice is normal. Her consciousness didn't reject, of course, because he found the right file for her. So then Ellie pretends she is the real Ellie in order to buy herself time to try and kill Bruce. So oh man, when Ellie and Bruce are getting intimate, wow, Ellie looks so uncomfortable. I've never seen a
Oh,
person like that. That was good on the actress. She did a good job portraying that.
Mhm.
She's not the real Ellie, but has to pretend to be intimate
Yep.
to have that intimate scene with Bruce. And you could see it in her face. She's like, "When is this going to be over? Because I don't want to have sex with this man. I want to kill him."
There's
no.
something
Have you,
twisted as
have,
well. The way when he
mm,
creates a new Ellie or uploads one, he always puts her in bed beside him.
yeah,
Like there's something
yeah.
gnarly about that.
He's
Not even a hospital bed.
he's
Like,
fucking psycho. That's what he
mhm.
is.
Yeah, he's a monster,
Yeah.
definitely.
Ooh.
And for her to have to do that to save her life,
Yeah, that's
she just had to.
Yeah,
She had
exactly.
no
Just to
choice.
buy her time. So
Yeah,
once Bruce leaves in the morning, she takes the truck and goes to the farm uh to try to, set the farm on fire. Since she already has a memory of what's been going on in the farm,
mhm.
she already knows like, okay, that's where he's doing
everything's
these
happening. Yep.
replications. So as she tries to set the place on fire, Bruce comes in and tries to stop her. And that's where we see him use the activation controller to turn her off. That's the only time he decides to go, yep, this is a good time to deactivate this Ellie.
Yep.
Mm,
That's because she's got basically pesticides strapped to it. It's flammable substance, so he can't just bludgeon her anymore because she set the place on
yeah,
fire.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
that was
a
an intense moment.
it was. What a little
Mm,
bastard that guy. Oh, I hated him so
But
much at this point.
here's the question: would Ellie ever be good enough? Say Dud find Ellie because he's changed so much.
that's true.
Would
Yeah,
and we don't know how Ellie and Alice died.
we don't.
And
No.
was this guy always like this? Did he kill them? Was it an accident? You know what I mean? Because this could border proper serial killer stuff. If they
Yeah.
almost wish they'd spent instead of that big chunk where the plot ground to a halt, they could have explored some of this. That would have been really like he killed his
Ooh,
wife
yeah.
and his
Yeah.
kid,
We could have had
and
a
Yeah.
little bit of a flashback there going
he
on.
kept trying to rebuild them to create the happy family, but they'll never be the happy family because he's off his rocker. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He's murdered them
Psychotic.
already.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll find out even when he does find, like, if he had have actually found Ellie and then went, but do you remember he did this?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been proper,
That would
That
have
would
been
proper
good.
look into his
have been
mindset.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had a little bit more in the background. Also, too, in this film, we don't see anybody else. Um, so was it did the die in a post-apocalyptic kind of setting, and now has nobody, and maybe trying to bring his family back, so he has somebody. We have no context of this, or
I just think
maybe
he's
he's
isolated.
just psycho, and
Yeah,
then
I think he's genuinely built this place. Like, it wasn't the doctor; he built this place to do this, and he's purposely isolated.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's so much it could interpret. Yeah. You can interpret so much in this. And yeah.
So, so then, after he uses the controller to deactivate her in a way, as she's deactivated, he takes her to the cornfield to start, burying her. Um, yeah,
It was rough.
and as this is going on, Bruce is still so obsessed. The next version is being cooked up so Brucey can get a new print. He's so worried about getting this alley back into the cornfield because we're printing the next one. God, this guy's fucking bonkers. He's just
Yep.
mental. Like, ugh, that just
Yeah.
disturbed me so much.
I
That scene was hard.
I couldn't wait for him to die. I was hoping he was gonna die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. By this point, I'm like, oh my
Asshole.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then while all this is going on, the OG Ellie that was bludgeoned, that Sarah Thompson, that version of Sarah Thompson, this is where it
Mhm.
gets a little convoluted, is in the house with Alice. Alice and the original bludgeoned Ellie, she's kind of chasing her. She's scared. Alice is
Yeah.
scared. They travel to the cornfield, and then that's when this is where it starts, like, kind of, climaxing here. That OG Ellie attacks Bruce and drags him in the pit that he made to bury the new Ellie.
Mhm.
And then the new Ellie strikes a match. She strikes a match. And he sets on fire the old Ellie and Bruce in the hole when they're kind of,
That was a bit action movie esque.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
at least it wasn't cheesy. I hate the Zippo. I really do. I think that trope is overdone. The lighting the Zippo and
Yeah.
throwing it. Hate that. But still, the match,
They didn't do that. She like kind of did the match and then struck it with I forget. It
the
was
shovel.
the shovel.
Struck up the shovel,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was very like an action movie the way she did it, which
It
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
And one of my favorite scenes is as she burns the bodies. She's like leaning behind the truck, right? And then the truck headlights, and wow, that was such a beautiful scene. Cause like you have the truck of the headlights behind her, kind of illuminating everything. You have the fire and everything from the glow from this side, kind of illuminating. That scene was really, really good. The cinematography on that was like A tier. I love that. So she strikes the match, and then after that, the new Ellie, which is still Sarah Thompson's brain, and Alice drive off into the sunset, potentially start a new life, right? We see that happening, which is kind of sweet. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not really her daughter, but Alice believes that's her real mom
and
because
she's not gonna
Yeah.
abandon a kid. You know what I mean?
and she's
Gets
not
that,
going to
you know?
abandon a kid.
No.
Because she had a son
Because
already.
she had a son. That's right.
So she's got that motherly instinct already.
Yep.
So they drive off who knows where. But then the camera pans back to the barn to see the new Ellie unbirth herself. That was a very interesting scene.
It was.
And then this time it's the real Ellie. It was the real file. But Bruce is dead and she's all alone.
Sad.
Yeah. Wow. What did you guys think of that ending?
It's almost like a Greek tragedy.
A Greek tragedy.
Yeah, when you think of this, like nobody really wins.
No.
People just survive the experience, but nobody really wins, or there's no like coming out of this unscathed. And
I feel for her because she's going to have to be. She's there by herself. She doesn't know where the fuck she is, who she is, what's going on, what's happened. And I didn't have any sympathy for Bruce whatsoever, but it was like quite ironic.
Yeah.
it's almost like all his effort, it was his own cruelty that defeated him.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
is like I said, it becomes obsession. That's the thing about Mad Science. It starts off altruistic, maybe out of love, but then it becomes obsession. His obsession took over. He crossed lines, and everybody else, he saw people as disposable. And when you see somebody as disposable, a flesh and blood human being, then that's where things go wrong. Like,
Yep.
well, we've seen
Now
it in
here's-
history. We've seen it today. What you see, right? They're disposable. They're not a parasite. Yeah, bad things happen.
You've lost all type of, humanity. It's just gone. If you can't see humans as humans, as people, You're a waste of space. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I do want to ask the both of you, would you want your consciousness and the body to be reproduced in this manner? Would you want your consciousness to be saved in a cloud and then your body file to be saved in a cloud to be reproduced
That's
at
No.
some
almost
point?
that's the question of immortality, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's almost the yeah. But then what happens? You
Yeah.
because there's people like freeze their bodies and cryogenically freeze them to supposedly be
Yep.
brought back at a later point and stuff. And now you've got one life, live it, enjoy.
Yeah.
Because then you're not living this life. If you're always looking to the next life, then you're not living this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, you're not.
Now
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Without getting too philosophical about it, but if you're
Yeah.
the here and now is what makes us, and it's knowing that we've only got a limited amount of time is what inspires us to try and leave a legacy. Because if you're going to live forever, there's no motivation there to leave a legacy behind. And we're
No.
creators, so that's what we're trying to do is ourselves in our own way is leave a legacy behind that goes on after we're long gone. Something that
Yeah.
outlives us. You know what I mean? That's natural, that's healthy. It's when
Yeah.
you try to warp that, then it
Oh,
it goes
what a
wrong.
mess. Yeah.
I
Plus,
think so
plus
too.
you've got to think of this. I don't know. I think of the soul aspect. Once you've died, your soul moves on, sort of thing. So, I don't know. Having your consciousness put in, I just don't. I wouldn't do it. It's like people who ask me, would I want to be a vampire? No, no, I don't want to live forever. I don't want to see my loved ones pass away.
Unless you have
No, fuck
hobbies.
that.
You need hobbies.
Well, yeah.
That's
I'm sure I
that's
could.
my only incentive to
Yeah,
live forever is all right, I might actually get all these books read. I might get these
get all
models
these
painted,
films watched,
get all
and
these
yeah,
films watched and reviewed if they stop making more. Do you know what I mean? That's
yeah,
my
yeah.
only right. I'll spend 100 years in the podcast. Then once I've done all them, right, I'll go and read all the books. You know what I mean? That would be my only motivation to be immortal. And actually,
Funny.
the only motivation for cloning myself would be to split things up. Okay, Colin, two, you do this, you focus this
You
area,
got
you
to
focus that.
work. Yeah, yeah.
No,
I got to work.
I've
I'll
never
do
cloned
that.
myself. I've never inflict that on myself. If there's the option not to go to a, no, it's not about being productive, but go to a workplace with people that, yeah,
Ugh,
oh God, no.
poor Colin. Poor Colin reprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the one. Oh, I hate you. Don't want. Why do I have to be the one that goes to a shitty job?
Yeah, and then they're gonna retaliate. Your clones
Yeah,
are
there'd be
gonna
a revolt.
retaliate.
That'd be it.
I've already got a clone. I'm a twin sister, so share.
Oh, you have a twin sister.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You already have, you already have
Yeah.
a clone. You don't need
Yeah.
another one to
Nah.
have your
The
consciousness.
world does not need another Dell out there. No.
Yeah, I'm also in the same boat as you guys. I do not wish for my consciousness and body to be reproduced in this manner. No, because no, just no.
No, I
No.
wonder if in the future that's going to be a possibility. Mm.
So I think that's where there's certain entities want us that like the whole point of the web and that and everything's being recorded. Everyone uploads
Yep.
and what I mean, there is an actual chance that could be a thing in the future that without realizing that we're all uploading our consciousness.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
Yes. Won't name
So,
names, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got something to do with that.
and I did want to poke your brains a little bit about Bruce. I know he's a big focal point in this film. Bruce really presents himself as a grieving husband, but not a typical slasher villain. Do you think his motivation that drives him mad makes him more of a makes him more compelling, or do you think he's more disturbing antagonist than just driven by pure malice? Do you think he's like pure malice, or do you like where do you guys put him?
When
Is
he
what I'm trying to
first
ask.
kills Alice,
Mm.
you saw it like when he starts to basically bash her head in, it's anger and frustration.
Mm.
And I think he's got obsessed with putting this perfect family, this image of the family, not the reality of the family. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
he's now like it's a picture in a mantelpiece. He wants that picture, and I think he's lost
Mm-hmm.
whatever sense of what he was aiming for. Like that's when your motivations
Yeah.
in the beginning get twisted. Um, we didn't explore it in the movie, but there's every possibility he could have killed his own family. He just seems to be
Yeah.
that unhinged. Somebody who's that just
They don't care.
the anger, the anger with the way he kills them, and it wasn't humanely done. Like if he's done this 32 times, surely he would have had the lethal injection ready. Oh, sorry, done.
Yeah.
It's not the right one.
You
Done.
haven't
Mm-hmm.
you haven't passed the Turing test. The his version of the Turing test. Okay, get rid of it. He would have had that done swiftly, humanely, bodied up, but he doesn't. The
He
visceral anger, the
doesn't.
way he does it, he's lost. And
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a maniac.
even if
I
Ellie
think.
did come back, he'd
Yep.
convince himself that it wasn't her.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. But
Mm,
I agree with the both of you. I think he's a not a typical slasher villain, but he is very much driven by malice, and if he
yeah.
actually genuinely cared. I will say something though. If he was in a place where there were still humans around, um and let's say he did lose the wife and the child in a tragic accident, get therapy, move on instead of trying to replicate this family. Use this as a fresh new start, but therapy, grieving, counseling, any round of things like that could have helped him not go down this path.
Yeah,
But
she
if he
said that in
did
the movie.
kill him,
She said that to him in the movie.
yeah,
Fucking grieve like a normal person, before she hit
Yeah.
him around the face.
Mm,
In the
yeah.
barn,
He's got.
remember the barn when she was about to burn everything?
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
which leaves me to believe that he is grieving whether he killed the family or not. Well, if he killed the family, then he's got way more therapy to do. If he didn't, then he's still a villain because he's killing these copies in such a sadistic, maniac kind of way that you don't really sympathize for him anymore,
Well,
though.
I don't actually think. I think he's a sore loser. That's what I think he is. I think he was bullied as a child, probably abused by his dad, possibly, or mum. And he's just a sore fucking loser. He lost his wife and his child, and he can't grow up. He can't grieve because he doesn't know how to grieve because he just a narcissist, and he's lost his wife and his child somehow. And instead of moving on like a normal human being would, he decides to go and replicate them. And that in itself lets us know his personality. He's a sore loser. He does not know how to take no for an answer.
Not only that, but he sees people as objects.
That's right.
He's just trying to print the accessories in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if he actually saw them as sentient people and beings and their own thing, he would have just gone through that grieving process. But to him, they're just accessories to his status as a man. I have this perfect wife and child, and they're not. He is narcissistic now that you mention it, Del, because he doesn't see them as people and as
No.
living creatures. He just sees them as they're my accessories.
Yep. He's
To
a
kill
Roman,
his own child over and over and over and over again.
When it was his child, it wasn't he
Yeah.
found Alice and he made that decision. Probably more than
Yeah,
once.
he was the right consciousness and the right body of that child, and it's his own child, and he just murdered. We saw
And not in a
one,
nice
at
way.
least one.
Yep.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
in a pleasant way.
No, smothering somebody in bed.
Not even when she was asleep. Just not by surprise. Just there. She felt the full horror of that. Nah.
Yep.
The
His
betrayal,
bullet
everything. You know
bullet
what I mean?
between the eyes. Yeah.
Terrible. He was a
He looked her in
terrible.
the eyes. He called her towards him. Then he did it.
What
That's you know what I mean.
that? Ooh,
That who
yeah.
the you know what I mean, doesn't matter copy or not, whatever.
That's the
Yeah.
ultimate betrayal. Come here.
Yeah.
Like, no, especially a child so innocent. Ah,
But that's
Yes.
why we needed that scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
To
why
yeah.
we
see how
needed that scene
diabolical he is. Yeah.
because that's where you see what that's
Yep.
his mind, and
That's right.
it's never going to end well when someone's like that. There's no
Yep.
happy ending to this.
No, there really
No.
isn't.
No.
So, speaking of happy endings, the ending was very bleak. The final shot shows the real Ellie surviving, but she's completely isolated, with no context to her life or what happened to Bruce. Is this a happy ending for her, or is she now a prisoner of her own lack of history? What do you guys think?
The one that drove off.
No, the one that stays in the barn at the
The
very end, and she's like,
real Ellie.
Bruce.
That was profound, I'd have to say. Yeah.
We don't
And
know
sad.
who Ellie is.
No.
So
Yeah,
is I mean, does she understand what her husband's work was even before? Because he's obviously some sort of genetics or
That's
whatever.
true.
You know what I mean? Does she understand any of this? What was her profession if she had one?
Mm,
yeah,
You know what I
yep.
mean? At what point did her memory? Were there problems in the marriage? Did that you know? We don't know the circumstances of their death. We just know what happened. So when
Yeah.
she comes to, she's just going to be like, "What is this shit show? This is not her family home. This is some abandoned place that he bought and kitted out purely to run these experiments. We don't know how many years it's been.
No.
So yeah, that's not. She's not in for a happy life. Like she's just going to be looking around, go, "What the hell?
Yeah,
This
she'll be
abandoned empty
wondering where
house."
yeah. Where is everyone? She'll be
yeah.
lost.
That's true.
Will
That's true.
she remember dying?
No.
I don't,
Yeah.
when was the memory extracted
That's
Exactly.
right.
or
So
uploaded?
this
If
so
Are
the
all
if
these people dead?
that's
Or,
right.
for example, Sophie is the real Sophie still alive and out there? How did I can't remember the bit where they said how they
That's right.
gathered the data. Um, did these people submit to the process? Was it taken at the point of death? Was it taken during their life, during a routine, by other
Mm,
means? We don't know. So is the Ellie/Sophie going to meet Sophie?
yeah,
that's
Still around
right.
exactly.
kicking, maybe 20 years older than her. You know what I mean? We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's loads of questions to ask. But none of this has a happy ending. There's no happy ending for this.
No. Mm-mm. And then also you have to consider the ethics of the technology. It was
Yeah.
Bruce, was this science that he was conducting, was it ethical? And also too, the psychological horror of identity theft. Did the Sarah Thompson and all the files and the 32 other files that were rejected, did they know that their identity was taken to do
Actually,
this kind of thing?
no, because I'm just thinking about this now. She would have memory. She would have had a memory of taking
Of
part in this process,
that's right.
and then it wouldn't have been as traumatic.
Yeah. So
So
it's
Yep.
identity
no,
theft.
No, you're right. Yeah, it is identity
And
theft.
a lot of ethic issues here
Yeah.
because if they didn't agree and or consent to be in this program, of their
It's identity fraud.
consciousness being removed, and then you
Mm,
gotta ponder, where did Bruce get the technology and where did he get the consciousness? All these consciousness that he has stored in these files, where did he get them from?
mhm.
I don't think was from legal methods. I think
no.
definitely there's a lot of ethical wrongdoings that he did to get where he is.
You wouldn't need to set up a secret lab on the outskirts of nowhere to do this. If it
Yeah,
was ethical, it'd be in a lab and there'd be a team and there'd be psychologists, counselors, blah, 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 rehabilitators. You know what I mean?
Oversight.
Yep.
Yep. All that sort of stuff. Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
I
So
think
the
so
fact it
too.
was in an unhygienic barn.
Are you
Yeah.
telling me there's no way to
Very unhygienic. Yeah.
upload? Like it wasn't even sterile. I mean, it wasn't even like a barn, and then it was a sterile area.
No,
No.
No, it was. And that could have been budget. Let's be honest. It could, there, you'll have to think reality here. There could be budget constraints, which
But
is
it
fair
also
enough.
adds to the story, though.
it does add to the story.
Mhm.
If it was a lab, I think we might have been like, why is there a lab there? Come on,
Yeah,
so
this
who
looks very
knows?
cobbled together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing it
Uh,
illegally, obviously. Yeah.
so I one last question that I have for you guys. If you were in Ellie's position, and you were a synthetic being holding the memories of a life that wasn't yours, and you knew it wasn't yours, at what point does the rejection of that consciousness stop being a tragedy and become a desperate attempt by your own mind to reclaim your true self?
Well, that was Sophie.
Right.
Once Sophie realized she was Sophie, I think that's you know, I mean, that's what kicked in. She just happened to be wearing an Ellie skin suit. I was thinking about because how's she going to survive in the world? So I think her next move would be to track herself down
Yeah.
because that's the only move she's really got is to find herself or her connections or her family and try and find out what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
She's really no other moves because she doesn't
Get a
exist in the world.
Yeah,
yeah.
get a job, get
Mm.
with her. I mean, she still has her consciousness and all the studying she did at MIT.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
get a job.
once again, it's she's wearing Ellie's skin suit, Ellie's DNA.
Yeah,
So
getting
so
an
once again,
ID.
she doesn't have her own identity, her own
Oh,
driver's
yeah.
No.
license, that social security number, degree
She doesn't have
certificates,
any of that.
yeah, certifications, blah 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 blah. So she's got, like I said, the only move, in my opinion, I think she has is to go and find herself or her
Yeah.
family, and what that's where then you find out like how much time's passed. Was it at the point of death, or is there a Sophie sitting around think she took part in an Oculus experiment and she's been
Yeah.
copied?
Well, yeah, that's
You know,
right.
Yeah.
Is she still alive? Is the question as well. Would she
that
be able to
Ugh,
yep.
find?
yeah.
Yeah. I think because it's a hard one because she's got her own consciousness, but yeah, because she's not herself and she's got this daughter to look after. I just can't imagine what sort of future she would have. Yeah, it would
The,
just be
there's so many uphill battles with that too because she's always going to live in a state of dysphoria if you think about it. Her whole psyche is built on I look like this, I am this kind of person, I'm this graduate of this, I'm this, but when
that's
she
right.
looks in the mirror she's never ever gonna look the way she is because her body and mind are different. They're not
That's
she's trapped. She will always live in a state of dysphoria because she'll never live in the body that belongs to her mind, if that makes sense,
Mhm.
because they're
mm,
different things. They got extracted and they're not the same. Ooh, here's a fun thing. Could the whole rejection issue be because he was trying to force them to be Ellie rather than accepting they're just in a new body?
Well, that's why Bruce is such a evil shit.
Mhm.
Because if it's not Ellie, they're instantly it's a failed experiment. It's rejected,
yep,
and the reason we're seeing him being so aggressive because this is attempt 32. I can imagine being really patient and loving, and maybe what would be the word, sympathetic towards whoever it was brought in. Oh, you're not Sophie, you're not Ellie, you're Sarah, you're Stephanie, you're Brenda, blah blah blah. Okay, this is what's happened. You could maybe picture that attempts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then something snaps, and then as it gets on, like he's getting more and more manic. So that's
Yeah.
why you see him, and this is so aggressive. So like, you will be Ellie this time. It's almost, he's
Mm.
busy saying it. You will be Ellie this time, or I'm getting sick of this. Why aren't you my Ellie?
Yeah.
God, this guy
Yeah.
has fucking issues. I'm glad. Oh, when he died, I'm like, yes.
He doesn't. He's
Oh,
somebody that do you know when you're too close to something, you shouldn't do it. That's why if you're a police officer, you don't investigate a family's murder. If you're a doctor, you don't operate on your friends and family.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. There's that. That's why you've got the,
yeah.
was it, ethics. That's why you've
Yep.
got lines you don't cross, or boundaries. That's why you've got boundaries. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. Um, he shouldn't have
He,
been the one carrying out these experiments. It should have been somebody else, or an apartment. He's
yeah.
too close to it, and this is why, over years of building a civilization, over a couple of thousand years of building civilizations, why we've got these taboos. And that's why storytelling
Yeah.
explores, that's why horror explores these things, because it says,
Yes.
this is why we don't do this, because this is how it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Which is
Mhm.
why I love the genre so much, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not afraid, it doesn't shy away, and it shows you the brutality.
Yeah.
You
It
need to
I
see
does.
that.
I do.
You need to be shaken out of apathy. Some people just need to be shocked. It's the only way they learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you guys could rate this movie 0 to 10, 10 being like the best, did not miss any beats, you loved every single second of it, what would you rate it?
5
Okay.
out of
I
10. Yep.
I'd give it a 6. I was going to give it a lower score when I first watched it, because I started to zone out about halfway through because of the pacing.
Yep.
Um, if they paced this better, oh my god, this would be one of these. This would be the equivalent of The Thing if they paced it properly,
Yeah.
because you've got the actors there, you've got the simple setup.
Mhm.
It's the claustrophobia, it's the unbending reality, it's
Mm.
the taboo of set. You know what I mean? It's the mania, it's the obsession. It's all there. The pacing messes it up. If
Yeah.
they had got the pace, that 20 minutes could have been used for so much more.
For building Bruce's background and the scientific ethics that he's abusing or something. We could have
Hmm.
seen a little bit more of something and it would have been
Yeah.
like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm not
I
really big on backstory sometimes, but I think in this case, there needed to be a bit of exposition going on. Um, Definitely flashback scenes would have helped, I think.
oh
Or a
yeah.
But
chart,
yeah,
having a having a chart of the 32 attempts of, right,
that's right.
rejected at so many hours, even at stopwatch in so
Yep.
many hours, and blah blah blah. You know,
That would have been
Yeah.
little
interesting.
bits. Like I said, that 20 minutes where it just goes around the circle. Like, we could have got rid of the forest scene. I don't think we needed to see the body.
No.
That didn't help.
No,
It was a
no,
cool
no, no.
scene, but it didn't help.
Yep.
Um, that sort of cut that out, shift that along, and then spend a bit more in the third act. The reveals and the actual sense and where he went
Pulling
wrong.
it
And
all together for
mm,
us to see exactly so that we could,
Yeah.
enjoy the
but
film and have answers, you know?
I don't believe they should have spent so much time giving us the gaslighting of no, you're really Ellie. Like we didn't need all of that. We could have had maybe a few minutes of that
Indeed.
and
mm,
then moved on to explaining Bruce's background or his little backstory a little bit because we still don't know jack shit about him other than he's evil
mhm,
and that's it. And he's replicating this perfect family and he sees them as accessories and that's it. But we don't know like if he where did he learn this from, where he came from, like nothing. We have no idea where this man, if any shit, he could have invented like these people and then they died and then now he's trying to replicate them again. We don't know that.
mhm,
What if Ellie and Alice were his first replications because he was so lonely and
That's right.
we don't know that. And then they died, a failed experiment. Now he's like trying to replicate them again. Like, we don't know if they were real people to begin with or if he made them.
Do you think there was too much focus building up for the twist that Bruce was the bad guy? Do you think they were
Yeah.
trying to have it, trying to keep it ambiguous that he wasn't the bad guy, even though take one look at him, you know what I mean? If you've watched loads of
Yeah.
movies, you know
Mhm.
fine rightly. The minute he said, the doctor said, we build this, we go and move this abandoned house, like huge
Mhm.
house in the middle of nowhere. No, that's a bit where you're like, nah, he's a wrong 'un. But I think they were trying to get the reveal or the surprise that actually he
Uh-huh.
was the villain or he was the one doing this, where
Yeah.
we know that.
We
We
already
That's,
knew
knew
that.
that.
yeah.
That's
So
right.
that was a lot of time wasted where,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
definitely.
Raven said the beginning was too long, trying to make us think a different film genre. It was a different film genre. I think so too.
Yeah, like the twisted mind or like amnesia or trauma. You know, I mean, they're trying to go down that road instead of this is body horror. This is science fiction. This is horror science
Yeah,
fiction.
that's right.
Just
I I think so too. They had a really good story, like, and then the end was like really, it was good pacing. The first 30 minutes, I even looked at my time and I paused the movie. How long has it been? 30 minutes? Holy shit.
mhm,
I'm like,
yeah,
nothing's happening. Nothing's what's happening. You should never, when you're directing something or when you're making something, you should never make your audience go, "Holy shit, how long has it been? Oh my god, this is too long and nothing's happening." Like, you should never have that kind of reaction from your audience. Like,
mhm,
No. I
you
think Colin was right, though. They did push that angle too much, too many times, that there was something up with Bruce.
mhm.
Yep, they should have just let it organically flow instead of forcing us into it with so many red flags coming up. They could have just had a couple and then focused the rest of the time
And then
on
move on.
the rest of the story.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Mm.
definitely a good it's a thought-provoking film because after the
Yeah.
film ended, I still was thinking about it like, would I want this? Would I want my subconscious uploaded? What are the ethics behind that? Just printing humans over and over and over.
Mhm.
And then I started thinking about war. Like, if, big government agencies got a hold of that, they can just print humans like crazy. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what consciousness you have.
Well,
You're a soldier.
actually, no, because if you could keep upload the essence, say Special Forces team,
Mhm.
and have that squad uploaded, just keep re-uploading that squad who've worked together for years. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You couldn't pay for that invaluable. That's why it takes millions to train Special Forces soldiers, for example. That
Yeah.
experience and getting them up to that point, they're a tight unit. You would have that squad reprinted over and over again, and you know
Yes.
what I mean. That's your winning formula. Uh, that's something that military applications would be invaluable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that film made me think about things like this. Like, in what kind of setting would it be okay to reprint people? If maybe a nuclear bomb or whatever catastrophe
Mhm.
happens, would it be okay in that setting to replicate people? And then the synthetic part of it, since they're these synthetic beings, do they have the same lifespans? The same, if they're printed from the same body and that body had diabetes, do they replicate it with the diabetes? Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, there's
Mm.
so many things that it this movie made me think about.
I
That
would like to be reprinted without my arthritis, please. That'd be
yes,
nice. So I can go running again and not be as fat.
yeah, right.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
I'd like my knees to work again, please.
Yeah.
ooh,
You can
in
delete
that
that bit.
Oh.
in that
Oh.
case, I want my consciousness to be put in like a swimsuit model's body, so then that way I can,
Yeah.
woo, yeah, Just kidding. No, don't do that. No
Yeah,
reprinting me, please. I'm good.
yeah. No,
Even though that's
but,
fun to think about, but no, no.
I think you'd
it
lose
kind of
perspective.
was. Yeah. Lose
If you could, like, I'll
perspective.
just redo. You'll make all
Mm,
the stupid decisions. You'll have no appreciation for life because, like, I'll just redo
nah.
it again. I'll just reset. I'll go back to the next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Doesn't That's not the point of
Yeah.
life.
yeah, that's
No.
true. That's true. But definitely a great film. You guys should check it out. It was fun. Yeah. Any final thoughts, guys, before we shut it down?
I enjoyed this more than I thought I
Yeah.
would.
You enjoyed it
Yeah.
overall?
I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I didn't think like that first half an hour could have killed it,
Yeah.
but I actually enjoyed the movie more than what I thought. I thought it was actually going to come in with a negative review, but on thinking about
Yeah.
it and the ideas, actually, no. I actually enjoyed this movie, which I'm happy. I want to enjoy movies. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't want to
No.
be just hating everything that comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yay, Colin. I'm so glad you enjoyed this.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
you, Del?
Yeah, it was definitely a freaking thought-provoking
Different.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy films that make you think. And this one definitely made me ponder afterwards, mostly what the hell happened, and wondering, oh my god, poor Ellie, now she's stuck there, and the
In the
irony of
barn.
it. The
Mm-hmm.
irony was just, him being killed, and then pushed into the grave that he just dug. That was ironic, and I thought very ironic that the wife comes back. He
Yeah.
achieved his goal, and he's not there to
To see it.
get the
Reap the
payoff.
benefits.
Yeah. So I think that's what I really liked about the film as well, and the fact there was only like 3 characters. I mean,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
only 3 characters we hear a mention of the police.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
see, and we do see the replications, the different versions, but it's played by the same actress. The
Yeah.
replications, same, the child actress and the
Yep.
adult actress are played, the same replicants are played.
That's right.
So, and
Yeah.
did you guys catch that Bruce also had a file for himself?
Yes.
I saw his
What
name
a
there. Yeah.
narcissistic dick. He named everything. He named nothing but himself. Oh, this is the Bruce file.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, nasty, eh?
Moral of the
I
story is good file names saves a lot of hassle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Label your files properly.
Label
Yeah.
your
Be
files properly.
organized. God blimey.
Don't just name it 0359 blah 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 blah.
Yep.
No.
See, this wouldn't happen to me. My OCD wouldn't let me like just randomly name
No.
files. I have to.
Yeah. A,
You
B,
would
C,
know.
D. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, those file namings. Oh, it gave me issues there. I was too anxious looking at all that. I don't know
Yeah,
which file.
exactly. I think they did that on purpose,
Yeah.
to mess up the storyline for us. I don't know. Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed this. It was different. We needed this. We're not getting. I always pick on Saw, but I'm sorry, but this was not Saw 20. This was a unique story. With a unique plot, interesting characters, and overall, it was enjoyable and different and new. And we need to see more of that in horror, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stop with the remakes. Just
Stop with the remakes. Give us more more stuff like this, please.
Yeah.
Give us
Please.
more original stuff like Affection, and all the other wonderful things that we have been getting lately. Oh, we have a surprise guest.
Hello. I see a tail. That's it.
Ooh. Well, I guess
That's a long tail.
somebody's telling me that it's time for me to give her attention. So I guess we better go so I can give her attention.
Oh. Gorgeous.
She's got to make her presence known, everybody. That's Kiki.
Hi, Kiki.
New charismatic slashers, less bland slashers. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Even though Bruce was hated, you still felt something towards him.
Mhm.
We need less of like, oh yeah, it's just, Joe and he's, slashing. We don't really care about Joe.
Mm,
Any feeling that you have towards a character is good. Apathy and not caring is not a good character. But
no.
if you really
Disposable.
truly hate somebody, that means they've done a good job. And I
Mhm.
agree with that, Raven. We need more charismatic slashers, and the ones that you just go, whatever, dismiss it.
Mhm.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Del and Colin, thank you so much for your time and for discussing this movie.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. And next week, we will be over at Colin's channel. We will be doing the best movie ever, Monster Squad.
Oh yes, bit of
I-
80s cheesiness.
yes.
Oh, God.
We can't wait to review that. So please follow the Horrific podcast if you haven't already, and then you can catch me over there on Wednesday. So
Don't
see you
forget
guys.
about Dell's channel, Dell Gibson.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Del. Whoa, Del and I have some. We're gonna cook up something for you guys pretty soon too. So
Excellent.
stay tuned. Follow Del. I'll post the link for her on the description of the video, so that way it's really easy for you guys to click Del as well. So
Awesome.
thank you guys.
Awesome.
See you guys soon. I'll see you soon, Del and Colin. See you next week.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Hello, boils and ghouls. It's your old pal, John Kusier, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. And I want to thank you for listening.